Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Tiffany Talks. So, this show was created, let me pull up, to inspire everyday people to have extraordinary lives. So, this is a conversation. So, I have all of you guys on the chat here. I'm going to talk about a topic, and at the end, you can ask questions. So, let me just enable the chat because sometimes I have to do that. And I will enable so everybody can get in and chat. Yes. Okay. So you guys are ready to dive into this week's subject? This week's subject is why most women fear success. And when I say success, I mean making a lot of money, right? So a lot of us can say, oh yeah, I want to be successful. But our true definition of success usually comes with some kind of a financial benefit. And that financial benefit gives us power, gives us choices, gives us all the things that we think we dream about, right? So I want you guys to go back to when you were really, really little. And when someone asked you, what did you want to be when you grew up? And you had all kinds of ideas based on what you thought was cool. Like most of us said, I want to be a veterinarian, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a teacher, because those were all the things that we knew about, right? And if you go back to what we also dreamed of was, not everybody, but some of us, you're growing up and you have a nice house and you have a family and you have a husband and all of these things, right? So, I do a lot of coaching with a lot of women. And I'm going to tell you that there is a theme of wanting to be successful, and then that same energy of wanting also prevents you from reaching the level of success that you actually want. And what do I mean by that? We have desires, which we go, yeah, I want to be successful, I want to make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Well, if that's what you really want, then what has been getting in your way of actually getting there? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because a lot of times we have dreams, we have goals, but something always gets in the way, right? And something always happens. Well, what is that something? I venture to say that something is you. That something is something that's resonating in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, that actually prevents you from achieving the level of success that you think you dream of. So I'm going to use myself as an example, because I know that this is a very common theme. If you're in a relationship, right, and the man is always more successful than you in the relationship, and then if something happens and you start to gain more success, what feelings come up for you? What feelings come up for you as a woman if you start making more money or getting more successful than your guy? Now you might say, hey, it's great because all of us, we get more money in the household. But I want you to go back to that little girl, right? To that little girl and what she was taught to believe was success, right? What she was taught to believe was success. And that might be different from the life that you are living right now. The life that you're living at work or with your family or with your spouse. And what I'm asking you to do today is to take a look at your belief system and see how your beliefs actually generate your reality. So if you're in a relationship and all of a sudden the dynamic switches, right? And maybe you are becoming more successful than your guy, or you're making more money, or getting more exposure. What are you making up about yourself, right? Or do you feel like the energy changes in your relationship? And if the energy changes, why? Why does it change? So these are all the questions that come up when women start making more money or they start getting more successful, and they think that it's the guy that can't handle it. They're like, oh, he couldn't handle that I made more money than him. But maybe it's you. Maybe it's you that is still wrestling with the idea of what it means to be a woman and be successful and be a homemaker and be nurturing and all of that. Maybe you're still wrestling with that. Maybe you're still working through that. Is that a possibility? So what I want to say is that if you're in a situation where you believe that your success is going to take something away from you, you will actually sabotage your success. What? Yes. Ladies, listen up, and I want you to think, right? If you believe that your success, financial or otherwise, is going to take something away from you, then you will actually sabotage your success. Now, this happens for people who feel like in their career that they need to give more time, more energy, and if it's taken away from their family, boom, they're going to cut it off, right? In your relationship, if you think that you're going to start to making more money than your guy, and even before the guy has even objected, you're going to internally think, boom, I'm going to cut that off. Now, you might not consciously cut it off, but something in you energetically will start to pull back. Are you guys feeling me? Something in you energetically will start to pull back. And when you think about when you were a little girl and you were having those dreams of what you wanted to be, that's usually when you're such a pure person and society hasn't really given you those norms of how you're supposed to live, how much money you're supposed to make, who's supposed to make the most money, and you just dream, right? And then something happens, right? We get infected and injected with that princess mentality. The princess mentality that the knight in shining armor is going to come and whisk us away, take care of us, make more money, spoil us, dine us, take us out. And if you'd be hard pressed to wrestle that dream away from any woman's mind or heart, body, or soul, because everybody in the corners of their mind wants to be pampered and treated like a princess, right? Well, what happens, okay, in the story when the princess becomes the queen? Nobody tells that story. Nobody tells the story when the princess grows up and becomes a queen. So therefore, we don't know where to go after we become a princess, after somebody whisks you away and takes care of you, and then you want more for yourself, so you start working and you're getting out there in the world and making money. You don't really know where to go after that, right? So you pull back into what's comfortable. You pull back into what's known. And then you blame yourself for not reaching the level of success that you thought you could actually achieve, that you thought that you actually could achieve. You say, man, I wasn't good enough. Man, I wasn't smart enough. Man, I couldn't do it. You start to blame yourself. So what I want to tell you guys today is that there's another way. There's another way. It's so exciting. Okay, so go back to, and I want to let you know that you are not wrong. You are not wrong for wanting to be taken care of, because biologically speaking, women as givers of life, right? We bear the children as women, as givers of life, right? We do need to be taken care of, especially in that state, right? So it's biological. It's okay. And that's why we have men out there and fathers and husbands and spouses, right? To take care of us during these childbearing years. And if, you know what, we stand up, we step up, right? If it doesn't work that way, the women will always step up to take care of yourself and your children. However, I'm saying that instinctive desire to want to be taken care of is biological. So just say, okay, I accept that. And that's the reason why our society has built it up this way, where usually men make more, women make less, right? And then women are at home taking care of the family. I'm not saying that that's wrong that women stay home and take care of the family. What I'm saying is that things have changed in society where women are actually out there working their butts off, and they're sabotaging their own success because of these antiquated views that continue to persist even when your children are gone, or even when you're on to your second marriage, or even when things have changed. There's something inside of you that still holds you back, that still believes that you should be second. You should make less. you should be subservient, right? Oh, I'm getting in there, you guys. And listen, bring me the comments, because we can talk about it. So what I'm saying to you guys is, listen, there is a time to be taken care of, and there is a time to take the lead. What? There's a time to be taken care of, and there's a time to take the lead. And you get to be in all of those times. So if you are a woman who feels like if you are in a relationship, right, and your success is actually going to compromise or take something away from your relationship, therefore you sabotage your success, I want you to give yourself permission to introduce a new paradigm. That means introduce a new way of being about what success means to you, right? So, and this is what's really great, okay, for all of you ladies out there who are approaching menopause or in menopause and the childbearing years are behind you. Woohoo! Because guess what, baby? It's time for you. Did you know in ancient African cultures, I don't know which African culture, I read it, I don't have the details, but I know this to be a fact, that in some African cultures, when the woman has reached menopause, she gets invited after that age into the circle of chiefs to be one of the trusted advisors. Because after that, she's considered, equal, on an equal playing field with the men as far as making decisions for the village, right? So I want you guys to realize that, there is a time and a place for everything, and give yourself permission to take the lead in certain journeys of your life. So if you get to a level where, your children are grown or whatever, and you get to take care of your family, or, if you don't have any children, but maybe you're still hanging on to that dream, because there's some people who haven't had children, but they won't buy a house till they get married because they figure they have to buy it with their man. They won't make major decisions about their life because they're waiting for their man. So they hold themselves back in success because they're still hanging on to that fantasy princess dream. So what I'm telling you guys is that there is a new paradigm. You know what a paradigm is, right? It's a mental design. It's a mental program for yourself on how that you can shift into a new definition of what success means for you. So let's take the example of you're married, you're in a relationship, and all of a sudden you start making more money than your spouse. Do you guys talk about it? Or do you just kind of ignore it? Like you ignore the elephant in the room. And if you ignore the elephant in the room, then you know what's going to take over? Those belief systems that we've been fed our whole lives, that the man is supposed to make more. And don't blame him, ladies, because you believe it too, right? That the man is supposed to make more, he's supposed to take care of you and all of that. So both of you guys have this belief system and nobody's really talking about it, right? So you don't talk about it, so it gets buried down and it just starts to vibrate and ruminate inside of you, right? Creating energy that is felt but not touched. So what I'm asking you guys to do is when you find yourself in a situation that is non-traditional, take a modern day approach to it. Talk about it. Just talk about it. So like I was coaching one of my students the other day, and she had this breakthrough that this had happened to her in her relationship. And some of the things that we brought up were that, you know what? If you are making more money than your guy, you find yourself in a situation, or you're more successful, find a way that it works great for the both of you. Right? That it works great for the both of you, so it's a benefit. So maybe you level out the money that you're making into the household, take the excess money that you guys are making and put that in a vacation fund just for the two of you, like your honeymoon fund. How fun is that, right? You make a honeymoon fund, or put it into gifts fund where you guys buy gifts for each other. Do something that you guys decide what this extra money is going to do to make you both happy, right? So that you both can be equal contributors into the household and feel good about it. Because I want to tell you, like the same pill that we took, the princess pill, guys took the hero pill. They took the hero pill, and trust me, they want to be able to provide and take care of their women. And when it happens that they feel like they're not able to do that, they don't have anybody to really go and talk to about it. They're just left with these emotions, and they start to feel challenged, maybe, and they start to feel some kind of a power dynamic in the relationship because, again, they took the pill too. So to round everything out, and I do want to hear you guys' questions and comments about this, is that whenever you feel like you have not reached a success, financial success specifically, but it could be just a success like becoming the head of the company or starting your own company or going back to school, whenever you have not reached the success that you previously dreamed of, ask yourself, what belief system is in my way? What do I believe is going to happen? Some people believe that if they get educated and they go back to school and they start a career, that they're going to create a big gap between them and their spouse. Some people believe that if they start a new business, they're going to create a big gap in time between them and their spouse. Some people believe that if they get a promotion, right, then they're going to create a big gap between them and their spouse, right? So if you have this belief system, remember I told you what you believe you will achieve, and you don't talk about it and you don't create a new paradigm for your success, then it's going to be there as energy and it will eat away at your relationship. And you will be right. You will be right, you guys, that your success will get in the way. But if you have a greater vision, not only for yourself, but for your family, and you actually talk about what it means for you and for the family to succeed, what it means for you and your loved one to actually go for it, right? And what it means for you guys as a team, right? Then you change the dynamic, and from something that's separate to something that works together. You get to do that. You get to create the energy that success is a good thing, not only for you, but everybody in your family. And that includes including your spouse or your loved one in the conversation, in the vision of what that success will look like, and then set goals of how you're going to celebrate that success together. Okay, you guys, I hope that this has been helpful. I want to open this up for questions and comments because I want to make sure that I landed the point. I want you to think about it, is that what's in the way between most women and their success is the belief that if they make more money, if they have more success in the business, more status, then it's going to take something away from them. Usually it's a lack of love, or they'll lose time, or they won't have their spouse. It's usually that belief system that holds you back. And I can tell you it's based on an old world view, and you get to modernize your thinking and modernize the way that you guys have family discussions about what success truly means. Does that help? Okay, so I'm going to open this up for any questions. If you guys have any questions, type them in the chat, right? If you have any objections to what I'm saying, type it into the chat. Oh, look, somebody's coming in. I see that Cheryl. Yes, right? So Cheryl's saying that the old school taught us that the man is the breadwinner and the woman is the homemaker. I remember when I was in school, I took sewing, which I'm happy that I took sewing, right? Okay. Very good, Ty. Okay. Oh, that's another thing, you guys. Losing weight success. So Ty just said that she was afraid of success, but now that she's lost 108 pounds, go ahead, Raw Stars. She knows that she can be successful because most people fear, like, if they lose the weight, that what if things don't change? What if they're still unhappy? Or what if, they don't reach their goals? Or what if they don't look the way they thought they were going to look? So they just say, forget it, right? They just say, forget it, and they don't do it. So you got to venture towards success with the belief system that it is great for you. So the old belief system, as Cheryl was saying, that women should be the homemakers and men should be the breadwinners, That's great for a time, but what happens when, say the man can't provide? Then what? How do you work with that dynamic? Is that man, does he not no longer have value? So many people are not in relationships because they're always looking for the guy with all the money. Okay? What if, okay, there's lots of guys out there that are great men that don't make as much money as you? How do you change your belief system that he gets to be the breadwinner, and that in order for you to honor and respect him, right? And how does he change his mindset that maybe you don't want to be a homemaker? Because I can tell you right now, right? I don't like being a homemaker. I don't like doing all the housework and things like that. And what if that was my only role in life, right? And some people love it, right? I have a friend who loves being a homemaker. But we get to redefine the paradigms. We get to redefine what we want for our lives. So, but the thing that I want to bring home to you guys is that society they keep feeding it to us that it should be a certain way. And you get to be the CEO of you and your life, and you get to redesign, create a new paradigm for your success so that you can actually achieve it. Right? Okay, yes. All right. So Cheryl says she would take her business and home and her economics classes in school. So what I want to tell you guys is this. I want you to do an exercise for me. What I fear about becoming successful is, write it down. Figure it out. Figure it out what you're really afraid of. And ask yourself, does that serve you? Is that helping you? Or is that just the remnants of an old belief system that is causing you to hold yourself back? Hold yourself back. And if you're holding yourself back, what gets to happen in order for you to break through that mental block and create something different? To create a new way of being, to create a new relationship, to create a new dynamic, right? For yourself and the people that you love. All right, you guys, any more questions before I sign out? This is Tiffany Talks, why most women actually fear success. Why most women actually fear success. And that's because they think it's going to take something away from their lives instead of adding to it. People believe that success will actually take something away from their lives other than adding to it. So you get to figure out what that thing is, what gets in your way, so that you can have an extraordinary life. The purpose of this show, Tiffany Talks, is to help everyday people have extraordinary lives. And in order to do that, you have to look at what you believed and do those beliefs of the past actually work from you for your present and moving forward. Do your past beliefs actually benefit you today? And one more shout out to all the women over 50. Woohoo! Because guess what? Life begins now. This is like teenage years, right? This is teenage years. You get to create success. You don't have to take care of anybody. Well, I'm still taking care of people, but I got an 8-year-old right now. But you get to create success. You get to build your wealth. You get to find love. You get to do all of these things without worrying about the childbearing years. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, so this gets to be an empowering conversation. It gets to be an empowering conversation. It also gets to be a barrier-breaking conversation. Break down the barriers that exist in your mind that keep you from reaching the level of success that you dreamed of before society fed you the pill of how you were supposed to be, how much money you were supposed to make, how you were going to act. You get to decide that for yourself. Open up the conversations between you and your loved ones to create something different, something wonderful, something fabulous for your life. All right, you guys, signing out. I love you. If this video was helpful, please leave a comment. I do read the comments below. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 for Tiffany Talks. And in order to have a fit, fierce, and fabulous life, we work out every Monday, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the Tiffany Roth Works channel. So make sure you subscribe. If you guys don't like what I said, Put it in the chat, because I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna read these messages and we're gonna go through it. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.